sales journal or the sales day book. Now this book is used to record goods sold on credit, again very important. The double entry for each transaction is shown in the sales ledger. The total on the sales day book is transferred to the sales account in the general ledger. And when we buy goods on credit, we receive a purchases invoice. Similarly, when we sell goods on credit, we give a sales invoice to our customers. And then discounts must also not be recorded in this journal. So let's look at another example. So we have November 12, we are selling goods on credit to P Mills, and November 15, we are also selling goods on credit to A Peterkin for $4,000. So that is our sales journal would look. The difference between this sales journal and the purchases journal is found right here, where instead of having suppliers in the purchases journal, right, but in the sales journal we would have customers right here. All right, and then we have our sales ledger, right? Now I want you to note that these guys are what we would call our debtors, because they owe us money, right? And to increase debtors we would debit, and so the information is placed on the debit side of these guys' accounts. And you can look at it this way too. We are selling them goods, which means that they are receiving goods, right? So P Mills is receiving goods, so the information is on the debit side. Likewise, A Peterkin is receiving goods, so the information is also on the debit side. And then we move to the general ledger, right? And we show our sales account in the general ledger. Obviously, the information is on the credit side, right? Do you remember my tip from previous videos where I said that the sales account is always credited? So here we go again. The sales account is always credited, so the information is on the credit side. Similarly, sometimes when we buy goods, the goods may be defective, or maybe the wrong color, or maybe the wrong amount, and we have to send it back to our suppliers. So our customers sometimes may send back goods to us for similar reasons. So we need to record this information in the sales returns journal, or the returns inward journal. So this book is used to record goods returned to us by customers. Alright, the double entry for each transaction is shown in the sales ledger. So this book is connected as well to the sales ledger. The total on the sales returns day book is transferred to the sales returns account in the general ledger. And when goods are returned to the business, a credit note is normally sent to customers, informing customers that their accounts have been credited. Alright, so let's look at an example. So on November 14, P Mills returned goods to us for $500. And on November 16, A Peterkin also returned goods to us for $400. Now here is our sales returns journal. You would have realized, like the other journals, it's drawn up in the same way, it looks the same, right? However, instead of having an invoice here, we have what? Note number, signifying the credit note. I want you to also pay attention to how it is balanced off at the end of the month. All right. And then we move on to our sales ledger, right? Now in the sales ledger, again, I deliberately left in the previous transactions of P Mills and A Peterkin, right? That was on the debit side. And I want to show you now that when goods are being returned to us, right, in these debtors account, then we would make a credit entry, right? So we would credit P Mills account, signifying that he owes us less money because he sent back some goods to us. And similarly for A Peterkin, we would credit his account, signifying that he owes us less money. All right, then we move on to the general ledger, and we show the sales returns account in the general ledger. Right now, the sales returns account is also called the returns inwards account, and that account must always be debited. That's a tip, right? Must always be debited, and as you can see here, it is on the information is on the debit side. All right, so let's review. What did we talk about today? So we spoke about the books of original entries, right? And they are the books in which we first record transactions in a business, and we said that each book has its own function, right? We also talk about that we also discussed that there are 6 books of original entry. Purchases journal, we spoke about the purchases journal, we spoke about the purchases return journal, we spoke about the sales journal, we spoke about the sales returns journal. All right, there you have it for part 1. Please remember to like, subscribe, and share, and hit that notification bell so that you never miss a free tutorial. Alright, take care and walk good.